Well, good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First on this Saturday, July 6, 2019. A balmy Saturday, I might add, Keith. And how you doing? We had a big day here yesterday.
We did. How about the Stronach 5? I think that was the biggest highlight of the afternoon. Look at this payout. Folks, if you're not playing, you're missing out. Miracles do happen. Dreams come true, I guess. And somebody walked away with $131,000, call it $132,000 yesterday, and had to do a little work to get it done.
You had to.
You see some short price to start it and end it, but man, how about that? $23.40, $18, and there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
$132,000, and I got boom boom gone. I get really frustrated when I get bounced at my home track, and boom boom gone in the second leg. Marco Salazar got me in leg B, so it's frustrating when I get bumped at my home track. I don't mind so much when I get bumped at Gulfstream or Santa Anita or Golden Gate, but when I get beat in my own track, it's embarrassing.
And boom boom gone, kind of won easily.
He did. He won like a good thing.
Right off of a little bit of a duel. So see you later. Wrapped up late. I don't know where that race. Lifetime best, obviously, for boom boom gone.
For sure, good looking win. We saw another good looking win yesterday from a first time starter by Hangover Kid. We're pretty sure it's his first winner. Could have been his first starter. Hangover Kid, who was a nice horse. He was a great stakes winner of $650,000. Miss Jay McKay for Cal Lynch.
Yeah, 63 buyer is the initial buyer that I saw this morning, and Lynch with these 2-year-olds over the last couple of years, it's been amazing. What a run he's had. Spots him, whether it's maiden special weight, maiden claiming, they all seem to win at a high clip. And I believe I went back and looked. Yeah, that looked like the first starter for Hangover Kid up at Murmur Farm, standing, I believe, for $2,500. So congrats. And it goes to show you, we talked about it on the show, he was a New York bred that wanted to go long on the turf. You're getting these 2-year-olds who went short on the dirt. We talked about imagining. So interesting, probably some versatile stallions here in the region. And if you're looking to maybe get into the game, start with a youngster, maybe you want to check out Hangover Kid.
For sure, and they bought him with intention of pinhooking. They bought him for $55,000 at the yearling sale with intention of pinhooking. Okay. They didn't get what they wanted, so they kept him. Someone saw something in that horse to pay $55,000 on a young stallion as a yearling.
You got it. It was $2,500 stud fee, $55,000. That's huge. It wasn't a ton. If I remember, on that bottom side, must have been a looker, and they liked the way this horse developed. So
Cal was very happy that he still has her. But one of the other highlights yesterday was Ghost Hunter for Jamie Ness and Trevor McCarthy. And here is Ghost Hunter. He's picking up his 22nd career win. He doesn't care. He wins on the grass. He wins on the dirt. He wins on the synthetic. Show me his starting gate, and I'll find the winner's circle.
9 years old, right? He's 3 for 4 now since returning to the races for 2019. And I like the ride he got. You saw just sent into the race early, knowing that turf course a little bit softer on the outer portion. Didn't think anybody was going to make a legitimate rally. He just dogged the other horse, went clear, and had plenty left in the tank. Good ride there. That was Trevor on Ghost Hunter. And talking about the turf course today, we had some rain in the region after the races last night, and I got caught maybe with the pants down a little bit. The inner portion of the turf was much firmer than the outer. Today we're going to label the bowl game good, the Exceller yielding to start, and we'll give you updates throughout the day. But you don't see that scenario too often on a turf course. But it's split. You just see the way it drains. You're going to know a little bit more. You spend more time on this course than I do, obviously. I might go out and hit a couple golf balls or something.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. You and Katie.
A little different phenomenon there yesterday, and we're going to probably deal with that situation this afternoon.
Yeah, and the turf course is so wide. I mean, it's basically 2 different racetracks when you start to separate it out. And Trevor McCarthy, big day yesterday. 3 wins, Trevor McCarthy. We've got a big carryover here today in the Rainbow Pick 6. The action never ends. $40,644. Nobody could figure out the Pick 6 yesterday. I got bounced late, but I nonetheless got bounced out of the Rainbow Pick 6. But a big carryover today, and that starts in a race of 4. We'll check out our conditions here at Laurel Park today. What do we got? The Exceller, of course, which is the outer.
The outer label is yielding, and the bowl game is going to be good. Main track is fast. Still a little bit of moisture, almost a wet fast for our dirt course. our dirt track this afternoon. So 90s, it's steamy out here today, folks. Get a cold beverage and enjoy the races. Track fast, yielding to start on the Exceller. Bowl game will be labeled as good on your monitors. Yep.
Well, that's the greatest thing. It's an indoor game, too. You go in, belly up to a bar, get yourself a couple cold ones, and enjoy the races here today at Laurel Park, mid-90s. A little bit of a breeze. That'll be okay. We'll get through it without any issues. So let's take a look at today's card.
All right,
we'll
let's
get it kicked off here in race one, and race one always kicks off the early pick 5. And I have an early pick 5 ticket, mandatory payout for the early pick 5, a low 12% takeout, and $27 ticket. And I go 2 deep in the opener using the 3 and the 4, and I single on Cal Lynch's firster in the second, Girl Next Door. And Cal, we have a stat on him. We talked about how good he is with his young horses. 3, 5, 8 in the third, 5, 6, 7 in the fourth. 3, 4, 10. Looking for that 10 in the fifth if I'm still alive there. $27 ticket. Good luck if you play along in the early pick 5. You can find all our tickets. Just go to laurelpark.com, click on the handicapping section, and you'll find Keith's tickets, my tickets, and everything you need to know. Recent press releases. It's all there, laurelpark.com. Race 1 going 3/4 of a mile for 3-year-olds and up. 12,500. 2 key scratches here. The 1 in arrears and the 2 manipulated, and both Keith and I, we end up on the 3 Beauvouk, who I quite liked going into it anyway.
Yeah, Beauvouk, the third race off of a little bit of a layoff, showed a little bit more tactical speed on the drop last time out. He has been known, he can pair up numbers. Key here, a shorter field, Tambora speed, but Joy Drive does scare me. Joy Drive's awfully quick. We got a video, though, of Beauvouk off of his last race, and this is in the race out of the Great Provider, Rockin' Cowboy, and a solid ride by Lopez. Got this horse into contention around the turn. He's usually a little bit further back past the 5/16. He's able to swing out to the outside. Not quite good enough. The Great Provider's going to go ahead and win this by about a length. But wait, what a performance he put on this day. But Beauvouk, nonetheless, a nice little rally from off the pace. Key here, which Joy Drive shows up. If the real Joy Drive shows up,
he can for second.
Yeah, he can kind of run Tambora into the ground and keep on going. Looks like 3-4-4-3 to me to get us started. I think T. Sizzle's going to have to improve a little bit off of that layup. Although Mary's good. Route to sprint has a positive ROI. He's still going to have to pick things up from recent efforts.
Certainly is. Comes in with a couple work. T-Sizzled, a couple work since that last start. T-Sizzle does, but is going to have to find some of those races from 5 or 6 back. But certainly capable on his best. Tambora make the rider. Georgia Ruiz. We got a bunch of rider changes here today, so I'll try to keep you up to date on as we go. But Dave Rodman be here for the changes. So we're both on the same horses, 3-4. Oh, we got the exact same thing.
Yeah, run them
that's all those left. 3-4 in the opener here at Laurel Park. Race 2 kicks off the super high 5 wagering. We have super high 5 wagering in this event. A little bit of a carryover here today, $876. It also kicks off the early pick 4. Keith, I know you have a ticket for the early pick 4. How'd you sort this one out?
Let's go. I spread a little bit. I'm going to go 4 deep in race 2 with the 1, 3, 7, and 8. I'm definitely using the 7, Girl Next Door, the firster here for Lynch. Singling in race number 3, not a chance for Jerry Robb and the X-Man. Xavier Perez could have a big day today.
He could have a very big day.
Fourth race, he did. The 4th race, the 2, 6, and 7. And then we're going to round it out in the 5th. Another 3 horses in there. The 1, the 3, and the 6. I do like Simmer Shenanigan here for Corrales. That's going to be Acosta instead, J.D. Acosta instead of Gomez there on the 3. Simmer Shenanigan, $18 for the early pick 4.
Yeah, the nice ticket there, early pick 4. We move on to the second. This is a maiden event for 2-year-old fillies going 5/8 of a mile, and I go to the 7. The Girl Next Door for Cal Lynch, and Cal Lynch is just so good with these young horses. We saw it yesterday, and Keith, you have a stat for us.
Obviously, he's got an eye, no doubt for these younger horses. He can kind of just project how they're gonna develop physically, and he's done a phenomenal job of late. Last 2 years on the dirt, 4 for 11. With the maiden claimers, just spotting him. It doesn't matter. Maiden special, he's doing great. With the maiden claimers, he's 4 for 11, 36%, 9 for 11 in the money. ROI 256. That'll work. By Bandbox. Bandbox getting off to a pretty good start with the first race. He's about 15% with first-time starters. Not a huge sample, but growing nonetheless. The dam was 0 for 3. This is the first full. Second dam did win first time out. I dug a little deeper. It was a Rodney Jenkins runner, I believe, by the name of American Lion. Right. Pretty good sprinter there years back. So works. The only thing that I'm wondering, and I know you commented on this time and time again, you don't see any 5/8 works, do you? Yeah.
And, you do. And with most people, that's a concern.
Okay.
With Cal Lynch, it's not. Those horses get their miles in the morning. Of all the conditioners here in Maryland, I don't worry about it as much with Cal Lynch because they are going to get their miles. And this one looks like she has a bit of gas anyway with those steady 48s. 36 is a good 48 and change from the gate. So, but yes, typically I'm concerned about it because I really don't think if a horse can carry their speed until they go 5/8 of a mile because most of them go a half a mile pretty quick. But I think she's well entered in the maiden 25 and comes in with a good work pattern here. You've got the outside horse, the 8 ankle monitor on top, and she drops, loses the blinkers, and has had a couple works since her last.
Yeah, Claudia only 9 for 66. That's 14% of the past 90 days. But, things are improving a little bit here. I should say past 30. My bad. Ankle monitor didn't run terrible first time. I unfortunately ran into Shippey. Ran an 87 buyer that day, running off the screen for Kreiser coming down from Penn National. One of the best performances you've seen by a 2-year-old firster in a while. But drop down in class. I think this is going to work. It works well for Gonzalez, pretty much any kind of a drop. But she broke a little slow, had the rail that day, and made a good middle move around the turn before flattening out late. The key is going to be the draw. A little bit better alert break, I think. Has some speed to target, though. And that's why the girl next door is going to have to be tied on out of the gate. Not necessarily has to, be on the lead. I think she can come from off it just like the horse yesterday. But always talking for Jerry Robb, Courtesy Shuffle, Naughty Thoughts. They're all pretty quick in their own right through that opening quarter of a mile.
And speaking of the inside and braking, we have a video on the one always talking. Unfortunately, draws a rail here today. It could turn into an issue.
Yeah, and this, after a very good debut, had to chase a good one around the track and right up in the air. You see the two horse there highlighted and pretty much lost all chance, was not going to be able to recover, tries to rush up into the pace, is going to go ahead and fade a little bit, beating some 13 and change. But an alert break with Avery Wisman will put this horse right into the action. But I do think this is going to be a spirited duel developing on the front end, setting it up possibly for the first or girl next door or the 8 ankle monitor.
Yeah, and I agree with you at always talking. She was pretty good her first time out and just ran into all sorts of trouble in her second time out. We've talked about it before. It never works if you don't break and try to rush up.
No,
it never works. So you have to be pounds the best to get it done. Settle, salvage, see what happens. 7-6 for myself, 8-7 in the second here at Laurel Park. We'll move on to the third race, a 5.5 furlong turf event for 3-year-olds and up for the claiming price of $12.5, and this is on the Exceller. The course is labeled yielding, and both you and I, Keith, have the 3. Not a chance on top. We have a video of not a chance from her April 27th race.
Yeah, and this horse's form had tailed off back in the winter. Got it back together off of a little bit of a break. Got away at almost 11-1 for Jerry Robb and No Guts, No Glory Farm and Gene Gould Jr. Got the lead, took pressure around the turn, held on valiantly to deep stretch. Scout's Honor, the gray, is going to come up the inside to get it done. Not a chance. Looks like the speed of the speed to me. He's handled a course that's had some give in it in the past. I'm a little concerned that we haven't seen him back, since May. He was running well, 2 good races. But I'm going to take my shot here.
Funny you say that. 2 things. He ran behind Scout's Honor that day, and Scout's Honor, when he's right, is very, very good. But in my notes here, I just have, in Jerry I trust. He hasn't run since May. Shows no work since May.
No works, yeah.
I've seen Jerry Robb do this before. It still causes me some concern. But in Jerry I trust, and gets back on the grass here today. Right. Not a chance. Both you and I have this one on top, 8-5 on the morning line.
Yeah,
the 5 stop dance you've got in your exacta for August Martin. And look, the best races I see on his form are good enough.
Yeah, and that last race, a career best, basically. Any surf surface, got back to the turf, and a rally into a key horse. The horse has been running lights out for Ferris Allen and Love You Much. I think there's a couple chasers in here. August Martin, doesn't win a whole lot of races, but obviously got this horse back to run a top last time out, can just settle. Where Montanez is a good type of rider. He judges pace fairly well, can sit back and make a run into this pace.
A couple other interesting horses, Cobb and Lion Lord on the outside, who hasn't seen the turf in a while, but has some good races. And I like the one a little bit. I've got him in my exact Zip Man. I trained the Dam. She was a stakes winner for me. But you go on the way back here. There's some good turf races. She's been pretty good. He's been pretty good here at Laurel Park. Going to get a pretty good price there, but I'm going to give the Zip Man a little love in the third. We have to step aside for a couple moments, but when we come back, we're going to roll up our sleeves and try to figure out the Rainbow Pick Six.
Join us for Jim McKay Maryland Million Day on Saturday, October 19th at Laurel Park. Come with friends and family to Maryland's Day at the Races, a celebration of Maryland's horses and lots of fun for all ages. Enjoy a full day of racing, including on-track entertainment between races. Don't miss the hat contest, 3 categories and wonderful prizes. It'll be fun for all at Laurel Park, Saturday, October 19th. For more information, visit MarylandMillion.com or LaurelPark.com.
Okay.
Welcome back to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I was about to say Federal, but Fidelity First. But we got the Fidelity in race 6 coming up on the Rainbow Pick 6. Big carryover here today, $40,644 to be exact. You're going to want to get involved in this. And I think it takes a little studying. But I got a pretty affordable ticket here today, a $43.20 ticket, and I go 3 deep in the 4th using the 5, 6, and the 7. In the 5th, 3 deep there again, the 3, 4, and 6. 6th, I spread there a little bit, 1, 2, 4, 5. In the 7th, 2, 6, 7. My single comes in the 8th, Grand Motion, Peach of a Gal, and then I go 2 deep in the finale, 1 and 5, $43.20 ticket, Rainbow Pick 6. Good luck if you play along. I'm certainly going to invest in my ticket. I don't have to invest too much. So.
All right.
And I might even split it with you.
I think there's a couple of horses I might want to throw in there extra, but 43.
Well, no, we're gonna have to get a third person.
Well,
times aren't that good.
We'll find somebody, but it's an interesting little sequence. I know the Grand Motion horse is going to be a popular horse, maybe a popular single. My only knock on her, Tim, is that I remember that race back at Pimlico on the yielding surface. Or soft didn't run real well at all. I know it was a quality field that day. And what's this Exceller course going to bring today?
Well, and what I'm thinking is she's running 9 consecutive stakes.
Oh, yeah.
And she's going to be getting a little class drop today, and maybe she can overcome that yield, that course that's got a little give to it. But we're going to find out here in a few hours. 4th race, a maiden $40,000 event going a mile and a 16th. On the inner turf course today, or what would be the bowl game, and that will be listed as good. The inner as good as we start off our races on the inner turf course. And Keith, you have the 7 on top.
I do.
Unabridged for Chucky Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm not super confident. I think this is a really, really tricky race. I just think unabridged. Now she's going to have to act better behind the starting gate pre-race than what she did last time. She was very reluctant to load, didn't want to go in. A couple positive. We got blinkers going on. We got Lasix going. There are angles at work for this barn. Some questionable speed types. It really looked better. Some horses in here better suited to a mile, maybe 7 furlongs. Unabridged. Brought a rally in the debut here in America here back in April 7th at Aqueduct behind a little bit better horses. I just think if she behaves better, going to be fine on a ground that has a little bit of give to it. The positives here, I think there is some relief for unabridged. Closes in, a steady kind of a grinding run, gets it done, but no means is a single. Tough race 4.
Yeah, it's tough. And my notes basically say she's been running good numbers. Some of her numbers have been good enough to win.
Yep.
But she's certainly not getting the results. But Chucky Lawrence makes some changes. He's pretty good when he adds blinkers 25% of the time. They find the winner's circle. So certainly unabridged is certainly in there in my exact. I've got the 6 on top, Avocado for Rudy Rodriguez. Steps up here off the main 25 at Laurel Park. But I thought that was a pretty good try in her last start. She's had a couple works since then, so that's where I went. Horatio Caramanos returns.
A little discouraged mid-stretch. That was the Proctor horse that won quite impressively. She's Divine. Held on, was still clear of Miss Oliphant in that race. Appears to be the speed of the speed when you really break it all down. So positive moving up in class. Fourth start now off a little bit of a layoff. Could carry the speed a little bit better. I'm intrigued by the two coming in for a new face from Golden Gate. We've had a couple of these horses coming in.
Yeah.
Looking at the company lines. Now, that horse is in the most recent start. Now, this is back in October. Tig Tog came back to win, ran a 70, but recently ran a mid-70 number at Santa Anita. Still a little tough to gauge the competition. Does she really want a mile and a 16th is a question mark. But I think she's going to sit the trip just behind Avocado and make a move into it. I'm worried if she can hold on late.
Well, that's certainly the question. We had a horse ship in from Golden Gate yesterday and beat one. It wasn't the same type of competition. So I just kind of consider this a lateral move at best. I don't think it's any kind of drop from the maiden special at Golden Gate.
Right, and what I think
this maiden 40.
And I think what we started talking about, Virginia bred, this is horse probably maybe going to get prepped. And head down to Colonial
Downs, actually. But going back to the 6 Avocado, having the speed, I like horses with speed or tactical speed when the course is not given. And I don't like those deep closures on a yielding or a good course. I like a horse with tactical speed. That's what my top pick or speed Avocado has. But 6-7 for myself, 7-2, the 2 not out for money for Ferris Allen. The 3 is kind of interesting to me. Speed Alert, clearly something went real amiss in his only start. That was last fall. Drops back, punts. Basically comes in here as a first-time starter by Giopani out of Dynaformer Mare.
Yeah, Fowl had a horse sat in good position, undefeated. In the hurdles it was, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday and faded a little bit. The mother, I think all she did, this Vente, all she did was go over the hurdles, but certainly condition. I'm sure we'll have the bottom and won't mind a little surface with a give. I'm 7-2, 6-8. Gold Makes Me Smile is kind of a bomb shot. You're going to get Jen Miller, gets in light, just going to have to drop in, save a little ground. Might sneak in there at a big price to help out your supers and your tries.
Yeah, she's doing with 125.
0 for 34, but it's hit the board 11 of those.
125, Jen Miller. Did she lose her butt?
I thought I missed that. Yeah. Oh, good wake up. Thank you.
But look, the Gold Makes Me Smile has already won a race. She got DQ'd on the way back.
Yes.
She won right here. I'll never forget it. But it was disappointing the day she got DQ'd. Race 5. We'll move on to race 5. A maiden 10 going a mile and a 16th on the main track for fillies and mares 3-year-old and up. This kicks off the late pick 5. And no carryover here today. But this is always well played, low 12% takeout. And Keith, you have a ticket for our late pick 5. Let's see how you play it.
Yeah, all right. It's a $48 ticket. Get you started 3 deep. Dam locks from the inside. I like the insides in these mile and 16th races on the dirt at Laurel Park. 1, 3, 6. 6 race. I think you see it just as I. If I peeked at one of your pick 6 to get 4 deep. 1, 2, 4, 5. Shorter field, but a competitive one nonetheless. 7th race, 2 in the 5. Super Echo and Boost. I think the 2 sits a dream trip in the 7th for Trombetta. 8th race, 2 and 7. Peach of a Gal Vortex Road. Slight edge to the 7. I think just a preference towards a softer ground. 9th race, the 3 and the 4. Blow up horse in Sperry's Run. Ran okay with trouble in debut. We've got a video of that coming up later. Back shortening up. Yeah, might just make a run right into the speed in that shorter nightcap. Scratch the 6 in there, Dapper Mun.
Yeah, short field, 5-horse field. And in the last $48 ticket, very affordable in the late pick 5. So if you happen to get bounced in the Rainbow pick 6, jump right back in to the late pick 5. And Keith, both you and I have the 3 Samar Shenanigan on top. JD Acosta will ride. That's a late change. JD Acosta rides Samar Shenanigan. Gets back to the dirt. And has some races at this level that are decent enough.
Yeah, the key is going to be the break. He's had a little bit of trouble. You see, hesitated to break last time. Turf to dirt is a good move for Corrales. Draws inside. Really didn't want to sprint 2 races back. The 3 back try is the one that caught my eye. Moves outside to inside off of that effort. Was a little keen early, but positional speed will work perfectly. has plenty of chances, has built up stamina through all these chances. This horse, I think if she doesn't get it done today, I'm going to be a little bit concerned. And she's going to be an okay price. I think she's going to be between 4 and 5 to 1 when it's all said and done. You really can't take anything short in race number 5. But Reunited back with Acosta. Simmer Shenanigan, a little bit of a stalk and bounce. Just get out of the gate. I want to see her up close today.
Well, yeah, and she looks like the type who doesn't break the best and then wants to half run off with you when she doesn't break the best. So if she can get away smoothly, maybe she can be a little bit more rideable early part in the race. You've got the one Damn Locks in your exacta, and two back wasn't too bad.
Yeah, we got a couple horses out of the Nosy Josie race, and once again just playing the inside. That's good enough for me. 2-back try was good, was out every step of the way at Pimlico. I expected a better run last time out. I really, really did off of that Pimlico try. We just didn't get it. Hopefully we can kind of revert to form today.
Well, what I noticed was her best race of her career has been going 2 turns. This is the first time that was the first time Pimlico she had the opportunity to go 2 turns. It's a 1-turn mile at Gulfstream. It is a 2-turn mile at Gulfstream Park West, but that could have made all the difference. This 1-turn mile here can be very, very tough on horses.
No doubt.
It's almost an elongated sprint, the 1-turn mile here, and that run to the second wire is very, very tough. I use the 4 a little bit here. Gracie Gabb, pretty disappointing in her last start, but this is another one who tends not to get away well. But I think if she gets away well and she can run back to a few of those other races, puts her right back in there. The 5, 2-step sis, Cal Lynch, they're always fit enough to get the job done. 3-1 for Keith, 3-4 for myself in today's 5th. 6th race, we've got a state bred allowance race going 5.5 furlongs on the main track. And my top pick in here is the one Saltworks for Katie Voss, getting back to the state bred level after an open A other than in her last start. Been running strong numbers. We've got a stat on Saltworks and Katie Voss, and what do you have for us?
There you go. Last 2 years, 5 for 13. That's 38%. 10 for 13 in the money. Dirt sprints off of a 31 to 60 day layoff. Look at ROI, almost $4. Saltworks. Solid maiden breaking score, 2 races back in the maiden 40 level, one protected. Got to the front, went ahead and walked the dog up front with Sheldon. Kind of sat, and then ran away through the stretch. Won't have things that easy today, all things being out of the gate, with the 5 Last Love, who's got pretty good positional speed as well. I'm looking maybe for somebody to sneak in there and get them at the wire. How about What the Beat? Robbie Bales.
What the Beat.
Second off of a layoff. He's 6 for 21. That's 29%. That's with his dirt runner, second off of a layoff. So we're back here. We're sprinting. We're going turf to dirt. Has a race on the page. That race last summer, August the 4th. I know that was an off the turf. Altamura closed in behind her, going 5.5. Gets a little extra ground. I shouldn't get extra ground. Don't mind being at 5.5. What I'm saying is that race there, compared to the boys, 1/5 faster the final time than the boys in the split of that race.
Exactly.
So the other part on that Virginia bred day. That's good enough for me. 5.5 works. Boom, closes in. I think might snipe the speed at the wire.
I like What the Beep on my ticket. Saltworks comes in off a little bit of a layoff for Katie Voss. She's very good, 26% off this layoff with some good solid works. And her numbers are solid, and she's running some good solid numbers here. The 4, 10 Oaks Miss for Carl, what am I going? The 2, Pass Perfect for Kenny Cox comes in here. Off a couple, tougher, certainly their last race in that state-bred stake, tougher. A couple races on her form that are good enough. We've got a video of Pass Perfect from her March 17th race here at Laurel Park, where she ran quite well, got the job done at a first-level allowance condition.
This is a situation back to what she really wants to do. Sprint against this kind. Was overmatched in the Alma North. Was Pass Perfect. We're reunited. No, we don't have Sheldon.
No, we got
we got Ruiz. We got Ruiz. Another type of rider who could just sit and find a seam. This day, Pass Perfect rated off a pretty good pace. You can see a little contentious up top, swings out, and closes with a vengeance to get up at the wire. This is the right move. This is the right kind of competition. Like I say, she was over her head last time. She's going to make a rally into this flow today. I think she's a user. Pass Perfect. 1, 2, 4, 5 for me. The 6, the 3 possibly underneath. Maybe these are the ones.
These are the ones.
They're
Just we've got the same thing, different
6.
order, 1, 5, 4, 2.
Yeah.
But I love when Sheldon Russell couldn't ride this horse. I love the pick of Georgia Ruiz on this horse. I think he's doing quite well, very dependable, and never worry if Georgia Ruiz is on one of your horses that you might be investing in. 7th race. 3 other than optional $50,000 claimer going 5/8 of a mile on the turf. And Keith, you've got the 2 Super Echo on top, and why not? This horse is in very, very good form. Last 3 starts on the grass have been big efforts.
Yeah, so we've got 6 in this race. You've got pretty much 4 of them. They want to do similar things. They want to be towards the front. Munificent, Discreet Deceit. Unaquai likes to be close, as does Too Much Tip on the outside for Franny Abbott. I think Super Echo is going to get back to that race we saw over this turf course April 22nd. Sat behind the speeds, 3 wide, and just responded top of the stretch. Was behind 2 lone speeds the last 2. Okay, Wild About Start, Minute to Start. Going to get a little setup. I think you're going to see the real Super Echo show up today with a stalk and pounce kind of a run.
Because she comes out of that Minute to Stardom race, they ran 22 and 2:44, a minute and 3/5 on that course. That was a very, very fast race. Super Echo is coming out of, but in very, very good form, and not going to argue with anyone on Super Echo. I have the 6, a Unicorn on top, make the rider Xavier Perez.
That's right.
I just have this horse is in very, very good form, has been very good here on Laurel Park's turf. 3 for 5. It does show not such a great race on yielding in a good course. That caused me for some concern here. I trained the sire Gatto Pardo. I just think she's honest and that she's stepping up here to the 3 other than. So it's a little bit of a reach, but she has speed. Yeah. She's breaking from the outside and getting Perez.
And she's shown the ability to come from just off of it. She's come back in very good form. I think she can rally into it. I'm not. I think this is a tough field for her. She's going to go up. She's going up to the next level to the 3 other than. Yep. I think there's going to be kind of 3 or 4 of them all tangled up here when they come to mid-stretch. Munificent is tough coming off the layoff for Mary Epler. Discreet Deceit. The nice about these horses, they can carry their speed as well. They can take pressure and keep going. This is a real horse race, race 7. And Boost, second off of a layoff, shortening up to 5. Remember this. This is going to the first wire, guys. This 5/8 race.
5/8
so remember that as well.
Wire.
They're going to the original wire. I think this horse is going to get, once again, you see the comment, rated back, was called back off of the speeds last time. Gets the right kind of setup and may hold the best value in the race. Just off of that kind of, you look at the number, 54, 66, the last 2, not going to fit. Horacio and Boost may come flying in here.
Right, and coming out of that same Minute to Stardom race and going 5/8 first wire makes me feel a little bit better about my top pick, Unicoi. 2-5 for Keith, the 6-7 for myself in the 7th. We'll move on to the 8th, a 2 other than optional $35,000 race. Boy, our racing office gets these races to go. These are races that typically don't go a lot of places. We'll have 2-3 of these type allowance races every day, and here's another one. Fillies and Mares have 1 or 2 other than, or $35,000 a mile and 16th on the Exceller turf course today. So that, we'll play as we go, but right now it's listed as yielding. Keith, you have the 7 on top, Vortex Road. I have the 7 in my Exacta. And what I like about Vortex Road is this mare appears like she can handle.
Yeah.
She wants cutting the turf.
No doubt. Proven back in the fall at Belmont Park at 1 mile and a 16th in a 2 other than state bred race. You used to think back in the day, well, the 2 others, not quite. No, the horses,
they're anymore.
Not anymore. The New York breds are solid all the way through. Tactical speed in here, I think we'll get the jump on Peach of a Gal, and that's the key for me. Proven on a softer going. Going to get the jump, more tactical than the 2, I believe, and offers more value. That's the 7, Vortex Road.
Yeah, I like Vortex Road, and I like the fact that she's been able to handle that type of course. And you're absolutely right about the New York breds. When I look at it, a Hangover Kid, New York bred, and he earned $650,000. It's a whole different game. Peach of a Gal, look, I just think she's getting class relief end of the story. She's coming out of 9 straight consecutive stakes, drops back down here to a 2 out of than. She's still a 2 out of than.
Yeah.
So this, I think, is a tremendous class relief here for Peach of a Gal. Certainly understand your concerns where she didn't run well on a course that had some give in it, but I'm going to take my shots here on the class relief. We both use the 8 a little bit here. OKK for Jane Sabelli. You always got to use Jane Sabelli when she's on the turf. Second off a layoff, this type of layoff, 18%, and getting Karamanos.
Yeah, like I say, going back to the top pick, it is third off a layoff as well. And that race in Mount Vernon, check that out. That was a pretty good field. It's just really, really late. So I think that race is going to set her up perfectly today, taking advantage of the conditions, the way they're written. You know, that 2 other than up there doesn't count. Eau de Joy, you can't really knock her, right? 2 for 2. Did win for Delacour. There was an interesting stat, though, I had seen. It was a negative one, unfortunately, for Delacour. He was only like 1 for 11 following an allowance win on the turf at Laurel over the last couple of years. But Eau de Joy, she might be able to go ahead and buck that trend. Top and bottom for the turf. The family was good underneath. I think the future is going to be all right for her.
And as you know, that step from A out of than to 2 out of than is one of the toughest steps you take in racing. And so, some horses certainly never can do it. When they're out of than, they can never bang out their 2 out of than second level allowance condition. But Eau de Joy, I like her a little bit too. Bottom of my ticket. 2-7 for myself, 7-2 for Keith. Either way, we'll see how it goes. But that is my single, the 2 on my Rainbow Pick 6. We get to the finale here at Laurel Park, a maiden 16 going 3/4 of a mile on the main track. Scratch here, scratch the 6. Dapper Mom, that leaves us with a 5-horse field. Keith, you have the 4 Sperry's Run on top, taking a little shot here, 10-1 on the line. We've got a video of Sperry's Run from his race last April 11th right here at Laurel Park. And we'll take a look at this. We'll go back and watch the break again.
Yeah, we can watch that one more time. The horse kind of comes in, leans in, hits the gate, finds itself breaking last. Is going to have to work its way up to position. What I like here, you're riding the rail there. Just check this horse out to the quarter pole, making a little bit of a run in the pink cap. A little hesitant there to go through that seam at the 3/16. There you see it. Steady, having to wait. Almost from the 3/16 pole, dropping back to the 8th pole, losing grab. Watch this horse finish up. We're going to check it out. Going to work between horses to the 16th pole. Very willing, still trying to the wire with Sperry's Run. Now, late to the races, a 5-year-old first-time starter for Robin Graham. And then maybe they were just a little scared. Protected this horse. Maybe thought somebody might have seen that race. Oh, man, we're going to have to protect. Odd choice, I thought. A mile maiden special weight. Didn't want any parts of that, and didn't want the turf really. Okay, might be better sprinting, turning back. But coming back to this sprint on the dirt with some speed types up front, and nobody's showing a lot of finish. Paid Holiday is gets there to late and says, man, I don't want to complete the job. Lucky Jr. similar. Cool Man Cletus, they're all going to be around there. Maybe Sperry's Run. You've got Panero. We've got the 7-pound buck. And off of that debut, that video, I know the time wasn't great. Numbers okay. I think there's a little bit of hope. Maybe we can end the day like we did yesterday with a price and get Sperry's Run home in this short field.
Well, that won't work for me.
No,
I don't have Sperry's Run on my ticket,
but
it certainly won't work for me. But look, that debut race was a good race, and then just all over the board, back where he belongs, certainly back where he was competitive. That was a pretty good race. And adding the blinkers today, gets back to the main track, drops back to the 16. There's a lot of things you certainly point to for Sperry's Run. I have the 1 Paid Holiday for Mike Trombetta on top, coming off a decent effort at the maiden 25 level in his last start. I only got beat a neck while running third. All that is good, but it's not like he's a standout here. It's not like he's running lights out numbers. He was running against maiden 25s and maiden 16s before and running the same type of number, not getting any better or any worse.
No, he's going to be a very short price. He's a horse that wants the front end. He doesn't pass horses. You look, he just doesn't really want to go by anybody. Cool Man,
that's a problem in a horse race.
It is a problem. And if he comes away a little slow, Cool Man Cletus comes away okay. Cool Man Cletus is almost as fast, if not, equally fast. They're very hard to separate. I can see him just getting a little bit little bit late here, Paid Holiday, and I just don't want to take them at that short price.
Right. I'm pretty interested in the 2, Crichton. This will be second off a layoff, dropping from the 25 to the 16. Not a bad effort in that return race, June, almost a year. Hadn't run since July 13th of 2018, came back on the 22nd of June. I didn't think that was a bad race coming off that long of a layoff. Only got beat 7 lengths. Comes back here on a little bit of a drop. And, even this 5-horse field, at the end of the day, this race is a little wide open.
Sure.
I mean, if you got the money, and you might just want to go all here. Just go all. You probably have nothing to lose because and everything to gain, by the way, just to go all here in the 9th race at Laurel Park. Remember, big carryover in today's Rainbow Pick 6, just over $40,000 here today in the Rainbow Pick 6. That gets kicked off in race 4. That's going to do it for Keith and myself today at the races. Look forward to a big day.
And this sequence I like. I think there's a couple vulnerable horses. Peach of a Gal, probably going to prove me wrong. Graham has just been lights out with favorites in these allowance races on the turf. I look back, he's somewhere 35%. Right. But hey, Paid Holiday is going to be a single on a lot of people's tickets in the last. Just jump on in, take your shot, because I think we could see a couple of these even money shots go right on down.
Tank.
Yep.
Even money shots could tank today. There you have it from Keith Fusel. We're done. Thanks for joining us. For Keith, myself, have a good day.
Good luck.